Next chapter of the story Extra Credit. Chapter 2 is called In the Hills Above Linsdale. It was a long way down, but Abby tried not to think about it. She dug the rubber toes of her rock climbing shoes deeper into the crevice. She tested the grip of her left hand and then arched her back and stretched her right arm above the ledge, feeling around for something she could grab onto. Reaching made the strap of her helmet pull tighter against her chin. A bead of sweat trickled down her forehead, gained speed, and then dripped off the tip of her nose and disappeared far, far below. One slip, one false move, and this climb would be over. The rope might save her life, but a fall, that would mean defeat. It would mean this mountain had beaten her, and Abby would not accept that. And the author has put in a picture here, and you can see the focus of her climbing. There wasn't a breath of wind, no cries from soaring eagles, nor harsh sunshine, nothing to break her total concentration. And there was nothing in her way to the summit except this 2-foot ledge, this little gray overhang scraping against the top of her helmet. Her right hand found a bump overhead, a lump, and yes, there was an upside grip on it, wide enough for 4 fingers. But if she let go with her left hand and gave up both toe holds to increase her reach, could those fingers of her right hand hold tight? And with her feet hanging, could she hold on long enough for her left hand to reach up and find another grip? And if her left hand did find a grip, would she have the strength to pull herself higher so she could get a new foothold? There was only one way to find out. Still holding on with her left hand, Abby reached down and pushed her right hand into the chalk bag hanging from the belt at her waist. The white powder scoured the sweat from her fingers, leaving them so dry that they almost squeaked. She reached up again, took a firm grip with her right hand, and let go with her left, and then stepped away from her toe holds, trying to keep her legs from swinging. Hanging by just 4 fingers now, she tilted her head back, eyes searching above for a bump or a crack, and there it was. She pulled with her right arm, reached up with her left, but the second grip was still an inch too high. An inch that might as well have been a mile. Her right hand grip was failing, and Abby made a desperate grab with her left, but the effort made her legs swing, and that caused more strain on her aching fingers. And that was it. She fell back and plunged straight down a tenth of a second, then another. The rope stretched and then snapped taut and caught her. She spun wildly toward the gray wall, but she was ready, both hands on the rope now, her legs bent to absorb the shock. 26 feet below, Mr. Inslee gave a blast on his whistle. Jan, Carrie, let her down easy. And 5 seconds later, Abby Carson had both feet on the floor next to the climbing wall in her first period gym class. I love the way this is written because I really thought she was climbing on an actual mountain for a little bit. So that was a great description of what the rock climbing wall must look like. It was probably the flatness of the land in central Illinois that had gotten Abby so excited about climbing. And she wasn't alone. Lots of other kids in town also had the climbing bug. Her big brother Tom claimed that he and some friends had reached the peak of the town's water tower, more than 120 feet. It took Abby's breath away to think about being up that high, even if her brother's story about the daring climb wasn't 100% true. He was known to tell some pretty tall tales. But the massive concrete grain elevator by the railroad tracks at the edge of town? Someone had definitely climbed that thing, because the person who got to the summit had left a mark, the name of the high school teams painted near the top of the tallest silo. The word Lions was so big that other teams coming to town could see it while their buses were still 5 miles away. However, in the town of Linsdale, the 30-foot wall in the gym at Baldridge Elementary School was the tallest man-made thing a kid could climb on without getting into trouble with the law. The wall had been installed a week before Thanksgiving, and instantly it had become Abby's favorite thing about school, ever. And before Christmas vacation, she had mastered every route to the top, except the path that led to the overhanging ledge. Here she was in her first week of March, and it still blocked her way. 6 times she had tried to beat the ledge, and 6 times she had failed. But I love that she keeps trying, and that's all about the perseverance that we talk about. Even so, Abby loved that wall. She loved the brightly colored grips spaced out across the dark gray surface. She loved making her way upward inch by inch, and she loved being alone up there, that feeling of total self-reliance. If she failed, she had nobody to blame but herself. Abby had never even seen a real mountain with her own eyes, much less tried to climb one. So for now, the wall would have to do. And as she walked toward her second period class, she replayed every step and each grip of today's ascent, running through it like a slow motion movie in her head. She gave it her full attention for two reasons. First, she wanted to make a better climb next time, a perfect climb. And second, thinking about the wall was much more fun than dreading all the math and science and reading and social studies she was going to have to endure for the next 6 hours. After first period gym class, Abby felt like the rest of the school day was zero fun, like a winter with no snow, or a summer without sunshine. And these days, she was under a ton of extra pressure because the truth was, Abby had never been a very good student. And during the first half of sixth grade, her academic problems had only gone from bad to worse. And then, about 2 weeks ago in February, her problems had moved beyond worse, all the way to rotten. That's the end of chapter 2. I will make another video with chapter 3 and get it to you soon. Have a great day.